A little bit on my background is about 25 years in healthcare, from being an assistant and doing what Diane and Sheila are doing, all the way to becoming a doctor and working pretty much primarily in sports medicine as a chiropractor. I'm one of the team physicians for Portland State Athletics Department, and little plug for them, if you haven't met Jerry Glanville, if you like football, he's a character and very pro chiropractic. It's great to work with all kinds of athletes there, but if somebody comes in that is 350 pounds and would like to walk a marathon, I treat them as a football player or a volleyball player that's at the collegiate level. I never underestimate people's motivation and intent to make change happen in their life. That's very important, I feel, when you work with any doctor, that they look past your skin, past your weight, past your bones, past your color, everything, and look at what you want to do with yourself. On your own, with seeking care, if you don't get an answer that feels right to you, keep asking questions. Many people are apologetic when they come into the clinic and they have a list. I love lists. I'm happy to say I don't know. I have other good people around me to find out information that I don't know, so that I can come back to you with a good answer or get you to a resource for an individual for help. And starting with the basics here, so that's my background, and then martial arts is my sport. So I'm extremely flexible, have had every injury I've almost ever treated, from knees to feet to toes to wrists, elbows, landing on head, neck, falling off curbs, all of that stuff. So I guess I can say I'm really good at injury repair from a practical experience. With walkers and runners, you have some very specific needs that pertain to your feet first, and then everything else above it. So those are the things I want to cover today. The basic information on injury prevention is education, experimentation, reassessment, and positive change. And I will get into some more specifics about what that means, but there's a post this morning on the website about hypoglycemia, where it was an old post on the medical discussion, and somebody a little after midnight put on another post talking about his or her experience, I'm not sure, with dealing with hypoglycemia, which is controlling blood sugar. If you read that individual's post, you can tell they've done their homework. And I just want to highlight that here with you, because homework is what's so important. We meet once a week here, we have information here, and then there's a ton online, libraries and many, many resources. It can be very overwhelming, very confusing, but it boils down to some basic things. You educate yourself, you learn a little bit more or learn a lot. It can be a silver bullet or something you've heard 50 times. You experiment with it. Don't hurt yourself. Be reasonable. Reassess. That's the reality check. Is it working? My best friend told me to do this stretch. My knees are on fire and I'm icing them. Should I keep doing it? No. So reassessment, especially the advice from loved ones. It can be really tough when you need to make a positive change away from doing something, or adding something in that you don't particularly like. And then on my notes here, I just said repeat the above throughout life. You know, learn something, try it, see if it works, reassess it, make the changes, and then re-educate and keep that cycle going. I'm going to jump in with warm-ups. There's a lot of information on warm-ups. The purpose of warming up is warn your system for what you're going to start doing to it. You don't pull somebody out of bed at 5 in the morning and have them go dig within 30 seconds. You warm them up, you feed them, you get their blood circulating, then you hand them the shovel, and then you say, let's dig. Don't do that to your body within the first 10 seconds when you get out of your car and you got your shoes on and you're late and you're trying to catch up. Slow down, breathe, warm up, and you might have a different run or walk that morning. Cool down, yes. That's the way to do just the opposite. Tell your system, we're going to stop doing what we're doing, and we're going to do something else that isn't quite that active. Blood cooling, tissue loading really appreciates a graded cool down, and it doesn't have to be long, and it really depends on your physical ability and what kind of condition you're in. The worse condition a person is in, the more you want to get that message across. That's a longer cool down and a longer warm up. The faster your body can interpret the information, the faster that can go. Stretch after exercise, yes, that's the best time if you want to make something longer, because now it has been fed. It's blood is your fuel, with many different factors in it. Your muscles now are paying attention, and then you can communicate them, stretch please. Prior to, when they're cold, they are not fed to the same extent. They're not warmed up from heat. Hot tubs are a great place if you're not too hot already to stretch out in, or warm water. Stretching later in the day, yes. You don't need to be as intense about it, but repeated stretching afterwards will maintain the stretch that you've initiated post-exercise.